Hi, I'm Kelly. This is my game room. Let's play. Today I'm making a dry erase board. Yes, a dry erase board. This is your cutting board mold, which you never use as a cutting board because, resin. So I don't want to do an ocean, although one of these days I actually will get up the nerve to do one. I decided, the kid and I together, we're going to do a dry erase board, double-sided, so you can use it in either black or white. And we couldn't decide on what color black to use, so we decided to use all of them. Chang Tikije, glitter deep black, luster black, and carbon black. I gotta tell you, I like that glitter deep black. I really do, because it's nice and sparkly, but we don't want it to be too sparkly, because if it's too sparkly, then we think it might interfere with the writing on it and all. So we're going to do that. I'm going to get that mixed up, and that is going to be side one of our board. Now, this is only 3.5 ounces. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but we'll see, because I am doing two sides. I'm going to do black on the one side and then white on the other. Okay, here we go. I have a feeling that's not dark enough. Get me a stick, and I can kind of see my stick through it still, and I don't want that. I want it opaque. So more. I don't think I'm going to do all the colors. I think we'll just stick with the carbon black. Another good scoop. That should give us what we're looking for, hopefully. And we get that mixed in. Okay, I'm going to call that good, because the black will be backed by our second layer, which is white, but that won't happen until the black is completely cured. I want it completely cured. So I'm probably going to, it's nighttime here, so what I'll probably do is pour it, let it rest until tomorrow, and then finish up our white layer, and then our decorating, which we are going to decorate them. I'm not going to just leave it plain. Hello. Okay, that's going to go in the bubbler. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. That's been debubbled. Now I'm going to spray my mold. Let me tell you about my mold here. I got it from Amazon on a haul, but I will tell you that when it came, I was a little, because this big mold came in a teeny tiny, I'm talking smaller than a sandwich size Ziploc bag. They folded it. There are lines and there are scratches. I was only planning on using it for something like this anyway. It's not like I'm ever going to, it's for me, right? So I didn't bother returning it, but fair warning, that's what you get. I will link it below. Maybe you'll have a better result than I will, but yeah, I wasn't thrilled. So out comes the resin. Now this was only 3.5 ounces. I didn't think I was going to need more because I'm only doing the bottom half, but we shall see. Getting everything out of the cup that I can. I don't want to have to make up more because I know I'm going to have a whole second layer tomorrow. Looks like I'm going to have to make up more though. But what I am going to try to do is spread it around. Maybe I'll use my heat gun. Okay. Other thing about this mold is it's very flimsy on the sides. So I have chopsticks that I hot glued to the side and a popsicle stick that I put on the bottom, and I'm bracing it with my little coaster there. Very thin, very flimsy mold, but it's also very cheap. I don't think I paid $5 for it. I'm pretty sure I paid less than that. See, chopsticks, popsicle stick. Yeah, and as black as it was in the cup, if you look at it, it's silver, isn't it? It's very silver. But oh well, it's okay. Because what I'm decorating it with, and I'm trying to get it around the edge here, around just the back edge, the hanger, which is a nice sturdy hole, or will give us a nice sturdy hole. Yeah, I'm going to do a couple more ounces in the black and try and get it just a little thicker so that when I put, it's not completely white. I would like it to be half, about halfway in black. And I thought that 4 ounces, or actually it was 3.5, would do it, but not. So I'm going to mix up, I'm going to mix up another 4 ounces and color it just the way I did before. And I will pour that in, and I will see you tomorrow when it's time to do our second layer. All right, see you in a bit. And we are back, and it has been a day. And this is done for layer 1. So you can see about halfway up, I wasn't being super exact. Now we're going to pour our second layer, which is going to be white, because we want the board to be usable, black on one side, white on the other, so we can use it for our dry erase. So I have here 8 ounces of the Hay Clear 1-to-1, and we have chosen Rolio's Noble White, which is this, which is a very pretty white. I'm gonna put a nice big scoop of that, actually 2, because 8 ounces, that's a lot. Close that up so I don't spill it. We are also going to use Chang Tikaji's Silver White. The Chang Tikaji set that we got has 3 different whites. This one says Silver White, and it says featuring Bright Pearl Luster. The other one is Silver White, and it says features Intensive Pearl Luster. And another Silver White, which says Bright Red. Oh, yeah, it says Silver White. It says Bright Red by Reflection and Background Bright Pearl Luster. So we're going to not mess with that one right now. Not for this project. So we're going to use this Silver White. And I'm only going to do 1 scoop of that. You can see that. Okay, close that up. Or spill it. I'm going to wet it down. Kind of do that. And then I get my mixer. Okay, and that is done. Hopefully I got all the clumps out. Saw me trying to rub it up against the side of the cup because that will help break up lumps. I'm going to get this into my airless light, and I'll be back when it's time to pour. We're back, and this has been on its trip through the debubbler. Now, I know you can tell, I changed the way my mold is sitting. And the reason is because it looked to me like it was pulling away. The seal had broken on this side. And I don't want white going on the bottom side. So I'm hoping that by doing what I did, changing the way the mold is and putting something up against it where it looked like it was pulling away, that it will hold it together. Hopefully that works. So, ready. A little bit of spritzy. I'm actually going to start at the handle. I know you may not be able to see it, but I want to make sure it gets around that nubbin. And I'm going to come in. Yes, good. Now, I don't want this full all the way. And the reason is because, okay, so that's not going to work because the handle is too heavy and it's going to drip. So I'm going to have to move it. I don't want it all the way full because we are going to be doing a top coat after we put down our stickers. And gosh, I hope that stays. I really do. Ugh, it looks like it's going under. And there's nothing I can do about it at this point. Anyway, I wanted to leave space on the top because I'm going to be using, on one side, it is a DTF transfer. It is a heat transfer, iron-on. And on the other side, it is a vinyl sticker. Both will be getting a top coat because I don't want to leave it. I want a top coat, a clear coat, because that's where you're going to be writing. You're going to be writing over with your dry erase pen. You're going to be writing over a sticker. Sticker is not super intrusive to where you're not going to be able to see what you're writing over it. They're not very bright, and I mean, they're bright, but not super bright where it's going to be disturbing. Now, on the white side of the board, you're going to use your standard dry erase pens. On the black side, the neon, maybe even the chalk looking ones for dry erase. Now, in case you were wondering and you looked at the cup and was like, why is it black? Because it's the same cup that I used to do my black yesterday, and I just let it cure in the cup and I didn't bother cleaning it out. I just went ahead and poured over it. Okay, that is all I'm going to get out of there. I'm going to give it a little blast with the heat gun just in case I have bubbles. Seeing spots, and I'm thinking, yes, I'm seeing and I'm thinking, I'm hoping that they're not on mixed powder. No. Okay, so I'm gonna go right around the edge So any bubbles that might be stuck, see, wanting to play, holding onto the edge, it'll come out. Okay, I don't think I made a mess. Oh, I did. See, there I'm like, I didn't make a mess. Yes, I did. Gonna scrape that off with my glue scraper. And the part where I thought it went under the black, maybe it didn't. So I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope that it didn't. My lighter is not playing well today. And fan's on, so it's, you know, blowing the regular long neck lighter where I don't want it to be. Whatever. Give it a quick flame. Not burning it. That looks like fuzz. It doesn't need to be there. Anything else? Okay. Leave it alone. I'm not going to be using my heat mat or moving it into my curing machine because it doesn't need to be. I'm just gonna leave it alone for a couple hours and maybe 2.5 hours, and then I'll be back to do part 3. See you in a bit. And we're back. And this is, it's not completely cured, but it is solid enough that I can move on to my next step. So here is my next step. First, I need to turn the ham just a bit so I can make sure I'm putting a sticker down, and I want to make sure that I get it centered in the darker area. This is our sticker, our floral peace sign. And yes, it's white. Normally I don't mess with, you know, white colored backgrounds, but in this particular case, it was so pretty, and I was planning on putting it on white anyway. Kid, I need you to tell me if this is centered.
Let me see.
Is this...
I think so.
I'm trying to line it up with the...
Yeah, you're good.
Right there?
I think so.
Okay, I'm going to go down like a taco.
Looks centered enough.
Yeah? Yeah. Okay. So there's that. Then we're going to turn it back around. Oh, he's pretty solid. And I have these inclusions that the kid found at my local dollar store. They come like this. And I didn't think that it would work in resin because, as we all know, when we put faceted things down in resin, they tend to disappear or go flat on you.
These don't.
These don't. I tested it on a little piece, which I gave to the kid, and it did not go flat. So, and you could still see all the flash on it. So 3D diamond filler from Crafter Square. If you're here in America, it's at your Dollar Tree. So I mixed a little bit of each of the colors in here. And I'm going to put this on the handle. Let's see. Should I do it with a spoon?
Yeah, probably just make sure it doesn't all land in one spot and get stuck or whatever.
I'm going to go completely
around.
Yeah. And I want to come down a little. Kid actually did not want me to do this.
Yeah.
And I overruled her.
I'm leaving.
Goodbye.
Huh?
Goodbye. Would you want me? Oh, was I supposed to stop you? Oh.
Love you, Mom.
Love you too. For the most part, when the kid gives me advice, I take it. But every once in a while, I'm stubborn like that and decide that I'm going to go with my vision and see how things come out. If it doesn't come out, it's my fault. If it does come out, I can say you were wrong, which is, you know, not very often that I get to say that to her. So there we go. I think that's pretty. And I think that it kind of leads into the colors that are down here. Now, what I've done is I mixed up 6 ounces of my Hey Clear 1-to-1. I'm going to get rid of this so it's out of my way and doesn't get dirty. I'm going to start with the handle since that's, you know, they're dry and they're loose and they are going to move, and I get it. I'll deal with them as they shift. And I'll come down and I want to cover my sticker. And I don't really care if this fills it up all the way or not. I'm hoping not, actually, because when this is done, I'm going to do something similar on the other side, on the black side. So I will demold it, and then I will place I'm not using a sticker on that one. I'm using a heat transfer. So I'm going to have to use my heat gun, or actually, I don't know. I'll either use my heat gun or my mini iron, because it's quick. It's not like I'm doing a lot of it, putting a lot of heat. So it should not affect our resin, only the heat transfer. I've done it before using the heat gun on a popsicle stick, but I thought if I could use my mini iron and it worked, yay, it would make it easier. Now I had more stones. I just don't really want to use them all in one place, you know? I've got to take another trip to my Dollar Tree to see if I can find any more. In fact, it wasn't even at my Dollar Tree. We found it at a different one. And I did not hold out much hope that it would work, which is why I made a teeny tiny little like keychain thing. And when it did work, much to my surprise, I gave it to the kid because she's the one who found these at our dollar store. So there you go. Okay, so that is them. It is getting late here in Vegas, so I'm going to leave it overnight. Watch this for a little while just in case any bubbles come up from where my stones are. But other than that, I'm gonna, I believe, leave it alone. You know what? Just get my little, where my little stick? There it is. I don't see any bubbles, but just in case, I'll go along the edge. I'm not applying any heat because I don't whenever I use any kind of sticker or transfer now, ever since my ruined coaster 2 years ago now. So that is it. We're going to leave it alone until tomorrow. And then tomorrow we will flip it out and do the other side. All right. We will see you soon. And we're back. And it's the next day. And the white side is done. Our peace sign is good. All of our stones are embedded. And I don't see much bubbles. Well, something got in there. A little fuzz. All right. So I'm going to take this out. Now, at the end, it will get deburred around the edges just to give us a smooth edge. We don't want any cuts. Like that's a little sharp right there. Okay, so, okay. I'm pleasantly surprised because I thought that the seal was broken and the white seeped down into the black, but it did not. So that's great. So our peace sign is very nicely embedded in there. There's the handle, very pretty. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can tell. But you can still see the facets on these gems. And when you turn it sideways, yeah, they really stand out. They're beautiful. Okay, so pleasantly surprised about how that worked out. We're going to flip it over and I'm putting it back into the mold. The easiest way is to get the handle situated first and then put the mold back around it. Now, the only reason I'm doing that is because I need to get a top coat on this and it's just easier than having to get out my big, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take that out. It actually may have been easier if I deburred him first. But before I even think about top coating him, I have to get my sticker on my back. Remember I told you this was not the best mold because it came, literally it was folded like this and then folded twice more. It came in a tiny little square bag, smaller than a Ziploc sandwich bag. So it was very tiny. So you can see some of that. And that's going to get filled when I pour my top coat. It's not a sticker. This is what we're using for the back. It is a DTF transfer. It is a heat transfer. And he goes like that. Now, the instructions say preheat the iron, cotton setting, turn off the steam, which that's not going to be a problem because it is a craft iron. Leave the clear sheet on top, cover with parchment paper, which I do have. First of all, I have to make sure that it's straight. And then we're going to use now I was going to show you how I do it with the heat gun, but I got a new toy and I want to play with it. See? Cute little toy. So I'm going to plug him in and turn it on. And we'll see. When I turned it on, the light come on to show me that it's working. Can you come see this? This is where we want him.
Okay.
I'm asking, is it centered?
Oh, I think so.
More this way than anything. Because this, I know there's divots. So that's all going to get filled in with our top coat. So that's about right. There is heat coming off of that. That's good. I want to put it here to see how hot it is. I'm going to initially do it with my iron, and then if I'm having trouble pulling up the protective sheet, then I'll go to the heat gun. But I think the iron should do it if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I've never done this before. I hope he's straight. From what I can see, he's straight. I'm trying to line him up with our handle because I'm going to be putting some glitter in the handle on this side in the top coat. I can feel the heat coming off of that, so I'm going to give it a shot. I love toys. I really do. I'm just a big kid. Did it work? And then, of course, if it did not work, then I will go back to my tried and true, which is the popsicle stick. Yeah, it's not working. Yeah, it's not working. Okay, so turn that off. Let that cool down elsewhere. That's not to say it won't work for other things. It's just not working here and with this. So move that to the side. And here's your alternative right here. And big-ish popsicle stick. All right. Because I don't want it to move, like flutter away, I'm going to take a little piece of tape. Here we go. I went like that and it messed up the one flower right on the tip.
Oh.
Yeah, I tried the iron and it didn't work like at all.
Is using a heat gun with tape a good idea?
Wow, I'm going to take off the tape. The heat gun takes off the stickiness.
I was worried it was gonna like melt.
There's that. Actually not that bad where the lift is, and that's okay because that's going to get all put under the top coat, so there's a little lift right there. It's fine, and it's actually still hot, so I can push it down. But that I don't know if you saw that, but I wrinkled the top and it lifted our flower, and there's just nothing I can do about that. So I'm gonna go with the whole nature is not perfect, or actually nature is perfect, whatever way you look at it. So the only thing I don't like about this butterfly is that its body is pure black. Hey kid, can you come take a look at this for a second? So the only thing I don't like about this butterfly is that the body is pure black. Now I'm going to put my flowers up here. What if I put some of those diamond inclusion things that you found just right on where the body is?
I don't know
To
how
give
you
it a
get
little
them to
sparkle?
stick. I don't know how you get them to stick.
I know what the answer is, but I'm not going to tell you because you're going to...
Oh, I'll just leave it there.
What I have here is 4 ounces of the Hey Clear 1-to-1 epoxy resin. And I'm going to mix that up to use as my top coat because I don't do top coat. Okay, my striations are gone and my cloudy has gone away, so it's time to add my itty bitty little bit of crushed crystal. Why? Because I did it on the other side, so I have to do it on this side. It is not a scoop. It is whatever is stuck on my spoon. That's it. That's all I'm doing. It was whatever was stuck on the spoon that I put in there. I have had this jar of crushed crystal for almost 2 years now. I don't know if you can see it, but it is still very full. This is now going to go on a trip through my bubble machine, and when we're ready to pour, I will bring you back. See you in a bit. Okay, we're back, and that has had its debubble trip. Decided to go ahead and put it back in the mold, and I kind of don't care. I mean, I know there's a chance because of the way this mold is, it's super flimsy, that some clear might drip down the sides. I don't care as long as it doesn't go on the bottom part. I don't think it's going to happen as long as I'm careful about where I place my resin. Now, I have this pretty flower glitter. It's purple and pink, iridescence. There's, besides flowers, you got hexagons in there and circles. So it's all in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that up around the handle the same way we did the gems around the handle on the first side. But I want to get some resin in there first. Kind of wet it down, kind of paste it down where I want it. So I'll just make it a little thick. And then I'm going to pour it right around our handle. If it comes down a little, that's fine. It did on the other side too. I actually brought it down a little. In fact, maybe I'll do that here because I do have some leftovers. So I'll just bring it down right until I run out. So that butterfly is making a beeline up to where our flowers are. And hopefully they don't travel too much further than that. If they do, they do. I won't be mad about it. So as that's setting, I'm going to try and get this over my butterfly. Now I did 4 ounces here. I did 6 ounces for the other side because it was a bigger area. It was a thicker area to cover. Why am I tilting? I am tilting. I don't want to be tilting. Let's lift you up a little bit. Why is it tilted? That's interesting. It shouldn't be tilting. Much interesting. Getting it to my edges. Still tilting. I don't get it. And then, of course, because resin goes where resin was, it's all going to want to go back down that. Oh, well. I mean, all right. Nothing I can do about it now. That wasn't the way to do it. So that means I'm going to have a lot. Oh, look, bubble. There was a bubble in the board there, so that's getting filled in now. Now, pull some of it up here. Okay, so I have to keep an eye on this. Watch for bubbles. Try and clean up as much as I can where I didn't want the resin. And I'll bring you back to my disaster when it's time to demold it. See you in a bit. We are back, and this is done. I'm gonna tell you right now, this pulled away, and I don't know how many times I recovered that spot, and for whatever reason it pulled away. So I will have to put more there, but that's not my concern right this second. Right this second, I want to get it out and see what I'm looking at, see if it's even worth my time, because I might just stick some UV resin right there. Well, there's gonna be a lot of trimming because, as you recall, I spilled a lot everywhere. So see that? That's hilarious. It dripped down so far down, it made like a thicker layer on the bottom. Yeah, I'll definitely have to, I'm going to have to grind it down, which is not a problem for me because I also want to get this out of the way. I also want to, the hubby's going to help me. We're going to make a notch here. We're going to attach a little clip here so we can have our pens hanging off the side of our board. But that side one, and I do need to trim all that. I'm going to show you all the trimming. I mean, well, I'm going to do I have to do this is such a job. I will have to do it in my garage. I can't do it out here in front of the camera, unfortunately. So I'll take it out to the garage and trim it down, make a decision about that right there. But other than that, I mean, I love that. I just love that color. And of course, the little hole will get trimmed, not deburred. And then of course, our white side. Now look how much of that resin went under. So much. Kid, so much of the resin from here seeped under and went like literally under. Look what happened. So I can either try and sand it down, or I can just add more resin to the top and let it.
I don't know. If it had made a lip like this all the way around, I'd just be like, yeah, just add more, but it's not.
Yeah. I don't know how there's like a perfect circle here at the end. I don't know how that happened because there was nothing in the mold. So I don't know. So what I will have to do, it looks like, is I'm going to have to sand both sides down a bit. Definitely on this white side and the edges. The black side I don't think really needs to be sanded so much as this one part here needs to be, look, it pulled away right here. And I covered that particular spot like 6 times. I even came in and did my bubbles and that wasn't there. I don't know. Where's that, the pen? Now, I mean these to be a dry erase or wet erase board. I got these chalk markers. They're wet erase liquid chalk markers. What I like about these is that the nubs, you can reverse the nib. So it's either chiseled or rounded blunt. And these mark on glass, plastic, metals, right? It's a wet erase though, not a dry erase. Which, okay, whatever. I don't know what nib is this. This is a chisel nib. Chisel tip. Wow, look at that. That flowed really well. So, yep, you can absolutely write on our black board. Check it. Not cute? Mm-hmm. No. So I'm gonna take this out to my garage and do some fiddling with the grinder. And when we come and I'm gonna cut my notch in for my little pen clip, which it's not a pen clip. It's actually the top of a bottle, a spray bottle. And the kid found it and it fits our pens perfectly. So we're going to cut a notch into the board and then glue the clip in so it'll stay there. I don't know if we're going to glue it or if we're going to use resin. We'll see. So I'm going to get this all ground down and get that attached. and we'll be back with final thoughts. See you in a bit. And we're back, and this is done. As you can see, I ground it all down, took it out to the garage, ground it all down, and I did a second top coat. There are some fish eyes that I'm going to have to fix because I was tired last night and I wasn't really paying attention. So that's got to be fixed. Now on the other side, I made a boo-boo, and when I poured my top coat, I did not tape or glue my edges, and I should have. If I had put a little painter's tape right here, that would have I have little bubbles now. So I'm going to have to grind those down and then do a little top coat right over where the grind spots are. But that's it. I have one here, and then these 2, 3, 4. I did one already. I ground it down already. On our side, I drilled a hole like that big, stuck my clip in using crazy glue and a fixer. Let that sit there, and I mean, that's instant. That bond is instant. And now it is big enough that I can do that. Now this particular pen is a chalk marker, so it's a wet erase pen, not a dry erase pen. I don't think I have any fat dry erase pens that will go on black, but they will definitely go on the white. So I'll show ya. So we have on the dry erase side, and my pen's dead. Yay.
A little while later.
Dry erase side. I can write on this side, but this color is not so great for the black. But this is great for the black. Right now, because it's wet, I could just wipe it off with a paper towel. Otherwise, when it's dry, a little bit of water and it'll come right off. See? So I'm happy. Now, because this cutting board already has a hole, we'll be able to affix it to the wall where we want. I will do that after I'm done fixing my little boo-boos. Like I have 1 here and 2 here, fish eye. So I don't know, I might give it a whole nother top coat. I'm not sure. I might, otherwise I might just fill in the holes. This is just for me, so I'm not super worried about it. These I'm going to grind down, and I will just do a little coat there. But if you notice, I did have that spot earlier that was missing resin completely. I just kind of filled that in. It's not perfect, but it'll work for me for what I'm using it for. I'm just gonna have it hanging in my office. So I have a little dry erase board to, tell the kid what our next project is, and vice versa. She can tell me what our next project is, because I never know. Thank you for joining us here in the game room. I had fun. I tried something new. Kind of worked. I'm sure with more practice, it will only get better. But I thought it was a pretty good idea. Anyway, join us here again next week. I'm not sure what we have on the board. I will have to check. But whatever it is, we will endeavor to make it fun. In the meantime, don't forget to play. See you soon. Bye.